How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Also, please do me the biggest favor of all. Hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on my channel. And we're going to be continuing on reading through my book series. We are reading the Final War Epic End, the epic conclusion to the Final War trilogy, and the epic conclusion to the Universe storyline. This, of course, is part 2. If you guys haven't watched the intro and overview video, make sure you guys do that. And, of course, check out part 1 before you guys continue on in this video. If you guys are reading along with me, we're going to be starting on page 18, chapter 19, Betrayal. And to do a little backwards discussion, at the end of part 1, we got to where Devon and Brittany are both dead. And everybody that's alive for the core and the regime, everyone's on the planet Lambda, and Douglas and the rest of what remains of Unit Alpha just met the man Nathan Lasky, which he says he is the reason Earth was destroyed. He's the reason that the Jack and Andrew Woodson were killed. He's the reason that Phil, Paul, and Dale were also killed. He's the reason that the STC-40 is destroyed. And Nathan Lasky basically admitted that I needed Douglas Armstrong to help me win this war because basically I started it. So I needed your help. So with that, we're going to be continuing on chapter 19, Betrayal. I hope you guys enjoy. Also, I apologize. I got a fan going on because right now I'm recording and it's like 100 degrees outside. So I'm trying to not die of a heat stroke. So here we go. Location: underground regime base on Lambda. You have been gone longer than I planned, said Halo, with his parents beside him, to Team Doom. We had a little run-in with Optimus and his friends, said Shockwave. More like the entire core army, said Starscream, butting in on the conversation. Shockwave looked at his comrade with a look of shut up and leave, and then watched as Starscream remain silent while leaving the area. What did Starscream mean by you engaging the core fleet? Asked Halo. I bet my next meal I know, said Darth Update, entering the room with the regime leaders. Guess away then, said Cody, Halo's father, in a rude tone. You battled a few core ships, said Darth Update. Wrong, said Shockwave. More than 3? asked Mavis, Halo's mother. Yes, I have the belief that the entire core assembled the last of their strength, with humans, angels, primes from Delta Mega, the Holy Trinity, Nathan Lasky, and Team Bravo, to end this war on Lambda, said Shockwave. And I can't get comfortable in this chair. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Oh boy. How many did you see? Asked Halo. On average, I would guess the core has assembled about 7,000 strong against our 5,000, replied Shockwave. We're gonna die, said Mavis. Not sure, said Shockwave, and knocked out. What makes you say that? Asked Cody. Because my good friend Megatron has the machine, said Knockout. Megatron turned to the 3 humans and 1 green stick to show he had the machine attached to his right hand. Great job, said Halo. While Halo realized he had a powerful relic in their control, Cody and Mavis looked at each other with a concerned look. The look was that of them sending a message, using sign language to tell each other that the time was near to halt Halo's plans. The only problem, which they knew of in great deal, was Halo was still immortal. Even though most of the regime leaders did not notice Cody and Mavis's odd behavior, Darth Update saw it, realizing his own plans to kill Halo himself were going to have to be put into motion immediately. Location: underground core base on Lambda. You are the Nathan Lasky that the Transformer Devastator spoke of, from the planet Licton, said Peter. What have you done to make this war worse? Asked Chad. My stepbrother will tell you soon, said a man that appeared cold. This is my stepbrother, Jack Frost, and that over there is my older stepbrother, Count Dracula, said Nathan. Unit Alpha looked at Jack Frost to see he had a staff of wood mixed with ice. Jack's clothing was all blue. His hair was that of white snow, and also of his teeth. His blue eyes were dazzling, and his feet had no protection with any shoes. Count Dracula had teeth meant to rip a person's head off in seconds. He wore a black robe and had black hair to match his red eyes and black shoes. "Who is that?" asked Count Dracula, seeing Devon's body lying on the ground. "My younger brother Devon was killed by Team Doom," said Douglas. My stepbrother Nathan can save him, but at a great cost," said Jack Frost. Yeah, Count Dracula and Jack Frost are in here. We haven't gotten to the best character yet. "You can save him?" asked Douglas, looking at Nathan. "Yes, but like Jack said, it will cost him something," said Nathan. "Do it anyway. I just want my brother back," said Douglas. Jack and Dracula lifted Devon's body off of the ground and headed towards a nearby room with a label on the door reading "Lavatory." "Please remain outside while the three of us conduct the saving," said Nathan, halting Unit Alpha from entering the room. While Nathan entered the room and sealed the door shut, Jack and Dracula placed the body of Devon on an operating table. Nathan began the experiment to save Devon, and after doing several bloody and life-risky procedures for 10 minutes, the family of strange people left the laboratory room. "What did you do?" asked Douglas to Nathan, as the three men left the room. "It worked," said Nathan. Suddenly an explosion took place inside of the core base. As the dust cloud cleared, the core leaders looked to see a gigantic hole in the side of the laboratory room. "Yep, it worked," said Nathan. "What did you do to my brother?" asked Douglas, grabbing hold of Nathan and shaking him to death. "I saved his mind," yelled Nathan. "What?" asked Douglas, ending the shaking. "I saved his mind and plugged it into a transformer," said Nathan. The Holy Trinity, Unit Alpha, Jeremy Prime, Jack Frost, Count Dracula, and Nathan Lasky watched as a gigantic transformer, colored green, walked through the hole. "Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Bulkhead, the first transformer that did not go evil like the others I have done," said Nathan. "Devon, is it really you?" asked Douglas, crying for joy his brother was alive. "I'm afraid he won't recognize his old name. He has Devon's memories, but Devon, as a person, is gone," said Nathan. "Bulkhead, do you remember me?" asked Douglas. "Yes, you're my brother Douglas," said Bulkhead. As Douglas cried to see his brother alive somewhat, Chad questioned Nathan's past and how he came to join the Corps. Past is that of evil times. With my great head knowledge in machinery, I decided to invent a machine with weapon abilities to act as a guardian for homes and eventually be used in wars instead of humans, said Nathan. "But it didn't go the way you planned, did it?" asked Amy. "No. Instead, my first subject I tested with my brother John. He was killed in a car accident. I placed his mind into the biggest transformer I had ever made, with a mouth to suck up things with great speed to crush them in his mouth. I also added missile launchers on his shoulders and the ability to fly through space. Sadly, when I activated him, he went angry and blew up my house. John became Devastator, killing my parents and siblings. Because of what I did, I worked with the government on this planet and eventually trapped him. I sent him through the black hole in Zone to remain prisoner, but since you battled him several times, he must have escaped," said Nathan. "What about the other Transformers?" asked Laura. "I hid myself in the desert away from civilization to make more Transformers like Devastator, but without the evil twist. One day, I heard your home planet, Earth, was destroyed, and decided to take my ship to collect a few bodies to use for my experiment. I picked up 5 bodies that day and returned to the base. I learned from archives in the nearby city their names were Ted, Jesse, Susanna, Dave, and Deborah. I did the procedure to all of them on the same day, but the results were the same. Ted became Knockout, Susanna became Soundwave, Jesse became Dreadwing, Dave became Megatron, and Deborah became Starscream." They destroyed my base and began turning this planet, Lambdo, from a human planet into a destroyed machine planet. Sorry for the dog barking in the background. My neighbors having fun with them. I retreated to this left behind military base and dug in, while the rest of my kind were killed by my creations, said Nathan. What were Dave and Deborah's last names? Asked Douglas. Why? Does it matter? Asked Nathan. Tell me if your research said it was Armstrong, said Douglas, holding Nathan by his throat. Yes, it did. Your father is now Megatron, and your mother is now Starscream, replied Nathan. Douglas let go of Nathan, and his mind began going in a million directions as he realized his parents and some of his friends were now evil Transformers. How was Shockwave made? Asked Chad, while Amy helped Douglas gain control of his emotions. My father, Malachi, was shot in the neck during a walk home from work, and I made him with the rest of what we now call Team Doom, said Nathan. What about Team Bravo? Asked Jeremy Prime. We are just machines. We have no human minds implanted into us, said Optimus, answering Jeremy's question before Nathan could. Then why didn't Bulkhead turn evil if he has a human mind? Asked Peter. My best answer is that whatever the human mind mainly had stored in their mind and heart would only increase in strength, and, if hidden, reveal itself when implanted into the Transformer body, said Nathan. My mother was never evil, said Douglas. Are you sure about that? Asked Nathan. Yes, I am, exclaimed Douglas. She must have been more evil than good. Otherwise, she would not have acted the way things did go a few days ago, replied Nathan. Anything else you wish to share with us about your past? Asked Chad, hoping to diffuse the tension between Douglas and Nathan. Yes, there is. I invented all the relic keys, the machine, and the Alpha Lock as a safe code to help if this day came in order to kill faulty Transformers. However, I have turned my inventions of the relics, which I made in my laboratory, where I made Team Doom, to help make Halo mortal. I received a call from God for help and gladly accepted. That is how I joined the Corps, and how I helped to make this war harder to win, said Nathan. Maybe not, said Douglas. Everyone looked at the commander of the Corps, wondering how what Nathan did by building the Transformer race would help the war at hand. Even though Brittany Lewis has been killed, Devin has become Bulkhead, and the STC-40 and the ARC 170 armored jeep are destroyed beyond repair, we still have the relic keys and the Book of Power, said Douglas, taking off his backpack with the relics inside of it and revealing it to everyone. It is time, but I will not do the process to end this war without your approval, said Nathan, looking at Jack and Dracula. Do it, said Jack, speaking for both Dracula too. Everyone, please follow me. Whoa. Please follow me. I'm going to show you the Alpha Lock, said Nathan. Team Bravo, Unit Alpha, the Holy Trinity, Jeremy Prime, Jack Frost, Count Dracula, and Nathan Lasky walked past the communications room and the sleeping quarters room, where many of the Corps forces were resting from the journey to come to a door to another room. The door had a code required pad and a fingerprinter scanner to make the room secure from others. Nathan entered the code, which was 7, 3 times, and pressed his finger on the scanner. The doors to the room opened up, and the Corps leaders were stunned to see a gigantic cube that was 2,000 feet tall and 1,000 feet wide. Nathan, what is that cube doing in this enormous room? Asked Douglas. That is the Alpha Lock. It is a relic I built in order to make 2 immortal people or creatures mortal by using the other relics I built, replied Nathan. How is it going to work so that Halo is mortal? Asked Douglas. Place the Book of Power and the relic keys on the floor, replied Nathan. Douglas emptied his backpack and poured the relics onto the floor. Once the relics touched the floor, they gravitated towards the Alpha Lock while on the floor. Once the relics were right below the black-colored cube, they floated up and began melting into the Alpha Lock. Once the relics were all melted into the Alpha Lock, Nathan looked at Douglas with a smile. Douglas, say the name of the people that you want to make mortal in your mind, and they will no longer be immortal, said Nathan. Douglas looked at his wife, closed his eyes, and realized it was time to complete the hunt for the relics. Halo Shadow and Douglas Armstrong, said Douglas in his mind. Douglas opened his eyes to see his wife, Amy, with a smile, kissed her, and informed the rest of the Corps leaders that Halo was now mortal. While everyone celebrated the fact Halo was no longer immortal, Douglas asked Nathan what would happen if Douglas spoke the name of a person in his mind that wasn't immortal. Nathan answered to him that the person would be immortal. Douglas thanked Nathan and told him to keep the conversation between them a secret. Location: Regime Base. As Halo entered his bedroom, he collapsed to the ground all of a sudden, with no one around. Halo gasped for air and held his stomach with his hands, as he was in great pain and suffering. His blood turned from red to green to blue and back to red. His eye color changed from blue to brown. Halo stood up while battling an intense headache that lasted for 2 minutes. After closing the door, Halo realized his immortality was gone. If anyone else learns I'm mortal, especially Shockwave, Darth Update, and my parents, they will betray me. This must remain a secret, or else my regime will be leaderless, said Halo, entering his bed. As the night continued and darkness closed in, Cody and Mavis decided to put an end to their son, after overhearing this little incident in the base when he lost his immortality. The parents of the regime leader slowly and silently left their room and walked across the hallway to Halo's room. Tonight we put an end to him, said Cody. Let's do it, said Mavis. Cody kicked the bedroom door down, and the parents dashed into the room with their blaster rifles aimed at Halo, which was lying in bed. What are you two doing? Asked Halo to his parents. Unleashing our rage to put an end to your evil, said Cody. Suddenly the blaster rifles Cody and Mavis were holding were sliced in half by a red lightsaber. The shadows looked to see Darth Update in the room. I heard your parents talking about putting an end to you, said Darth Update. Why do you want to kill me? Asked Halo. We know you are mortal, so we have decided to reveal our true identity, said Mavis. Which is? Asked Darth Update, realizing he could have his revenge on Halo. Son, we joined the regime not to help you destroy the Corps, but instead to help protect it from your wrath. We are Corps spies that have been given the Corps locations of the relics to make you mortal, and the location of Ashbeka and Makong from your computer systems, said Cody. I am stunned, said Halo. Halo, what do you want me to do with them? Asked Darth Update. Halo quickly activated his own lightsaber and sliced his parents' heads off. Halo and Darth Update shut off their lightsabers and looked at each other. You can bury them, replied Halo, hurt that his own parents would betray him. And that's going to do it, guys. This has been part 2. Look forward to part 3, guys. The epic conclusion, the final part of the Unit 4 Universe series, which is going to contain the final 2 chapters, Battle of the Universe and Survivors, coming out very soon, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.